My 50th daughter, 26th, abandoned her son again. How do I help comfort him? I've raised my daughter mostly as a single mom since my husband died of cancer when she was 6 years old. I took great care of her and taught her all the right lessons while enforcing discipline balanced with fun. When she was 18 years old and still in high school, she became pregnant. I encouraged her to have an abortion as she wasn't ready to take of a child yet, but she refused and it was her decision. When her son was born though, she kept complaining for a few months about him crying or him wanting attention. She even yelled at me and her son, now 8M, quite a few times. When he was 6 months old, she just took off leaving a note saying that she was going to restart her life with a rich boyfriend she met online. I was devastated but decided to raise her son as if he were my own. He has truly been a blessing. 3 months ago, she called me for the first time in years and said she regretted her decision and wanted to reconnect. I made it clear that until she proved that she could be responsible, her child stays with me. Things started off well at first, but within a few weeks, she went back to complaining and even not showing up to her son's school events. She again complained about how much attention she needs, and I kept firmly reminding her she has a responsibility. Yesterday though, she again left as we were sleeping and left another note saying she couldn't do this and was going to rebuild her life overseas. I told her son that she went to the hospital when the truth is that she abandoned me and her kid again. How do I comfort him in a way that he doesn't know that his mom abandoned him? While I know you want to protect his little heart, I think you need to give him an age-appropriate version of the truth, which is that she cannot be a good parent right now or maybe ever, so for the time being, it's you and him. Seek professional assistance for yourself and your grandchild. They are who you should be getting advice from now. He will have to know that he has been abandoned twice. It is more a case of when than if. That's why you need pros helping you, not Reddit. Your mom can't take care of you. I know that can hurt sometimes, but I also want you to know you coming into my life has been one of the best gifts I could ask for, and every day I wake up and I'm grateful for our family. Maybe at some point watch a movie like The Secret of Roan Inish. It's an Irish film about a Selkie who abandons her kids because she has to go live at sea, but it's really not about that. I liked it as a kid, but I think also it was the first time I saw something where the mom up and leaves, but it is sort of just framed as she loved her kids but she just felt uncontrollably compelled towards the water. Don't make a thing about watching it, it's just a nice family movie but I think wraps some hard family dynamics into mythology. He's 8? That's tough, but he's probably more resilient than you think. He has you, and as long as he knows you care for and love him he can grow to be a wonderful, happy person. Tell him you love him, but tell him the truth. His mom never learned to care for herself, so until she does you'll care for him. Don't listen to Redditors. Speak to a child psychologist and do what they say with regards to the truth. I do think you need to cut your daughter off completely though. Hard break. Change your number. Move if you can. Just a fresh start and make it impossible for her to pop back up again. You need to file formal paperwork for child abandonment so you can seek 100% sole custody. This is your son now. I know this is not what you probably wanted, but you need to raise him as your own from now on and protect him from your past daughter. The line I used to use with my stepson when his birth mom would refuse to have anything to do with him was, "Your mom loves you. She just doesn't know how to show it." I regret this as it just wasn't true and I wish I had been more honest, but like you, I didn't want to hurt him nor say negative things about his birth mother. I would suggest you seeing a therapist and talking this through with her and then you and him going to the therapist together whilst they talk this through with him. He is old enough to know that she won't stay at the hospital for months. I 36 female was maybe too honest with my husband 41 male. What's a better approach? I don't know that I'm really looking for advice so much as to vent. Please keep in mind, this is a singular snapshot and not remotely the full picture of my life or relationship. My husband, 41 male, and I, 36 female, like many people, are struggling financially right now. We make ends meet but have very little left over and we have some debt, which we are actively paying down. On top of that stressor for the both of us, I personally have been struggling pretty badly with depression and anxiety, largely due to feeling very overwhelmed as the primary caregiver to our 3 young children, all under age 7. This morning we learned that we have barely surpassed the FPL and no longer qualify for reduced pricing for CHIP. We honestly don't know what we're going to do for health insurance at this point, but we sure as heck can't afford what CHIP is charging. It's extremely stressful and this morning was not great. Fully contemplating selling feet pics and all that nonsense, and on a more serious note really struggling harder than usual, with feelings of hopelessness. Anywho, this afternoon my husband called me on his lunch break today and told me, "I love you," to which I said, "I love you, too," and then he said, "I love our life together," to which I said after a beat, "I love you, too." It's hard for me to say I love our life together right now. I of course love you and I love the kids, but it's been really hard lately and I can't say I'm loving it. His voice became deadpan and he gave clipped responses and basically ended the phone call at that point. Look, I get that my response isn't what anyone would really want to hear and he was trying to be nice, loving. But this is hard enough on its own and I'm not the kind of person that benefits from lying to myself about how I feel. I'd rather be brutal and root out all the hard truths so I can face them down. But I was talking to my husband, not just myself, so maybe I should have blown smoke up his rear? IDK. I don't find that helpful either for the same reasons. Pretending problems don't exist does little towards solving them. But I feel a little like a jerk and I definitely think he thinks I'm a jerk right now. What am I supposed to do in those situations? It makes me feel like this is so trendy to say and maybe too harsh for what's actually going on, but kind of gaslit when he says stuff like this and wants me to say it, too, when it is not an accurate representation. I don't love our life together right now. I don't love barely scraping by. I don't love that we make too much money to get help but not enough money to really get by without it. I don't love that I don't know how we're going to insure us or if we even can. I don't love that I never get a moment to myself unless I turn on a movie and then I'm a terrible mom letting screens raise my kids. I don't love that I can hardly hear myself think 85% of the time. I just don't love our life right now. Am I a jerk for being honest about that when I think it's pretty obvious? It's not like I'm hiding the raging depression from him. IDK. I'm just rambling at this point. And like I said, maybe I just needed to say this and now I can move on. I really doubt anyone on Reddit is going to have a magical solution. If you made it this far, thanks for staying with me, and simultaneously I'm sorry you can't get the last 3 minutes of your life back. Please keep in mind I am a real, and frankly pretty fragile ATM person. Wife and I are in a similar situation. I've made sure to tell her that I love her, and sometimes life sucks, but not because of her. We also make it a point to tell each other that there's nobody else we'd like to go through sometimes shitty life with. Can't both things be true? Can't you love him and love your life with him in spite of the difficulties and also not love where you are in life right now? Like, if you took him and your children out of the equation but everything else was the same, would life be better or worse? Maybe he's not blowing smoke, maybe he's expressing love and thankfulness for the life that you have together, even when life is hard. I'm sorry you're going through it right now. I am too. It would actually be so much worse if I didn't have my husband to lean on in this moment. Sometimes gratitude is the antidote to our misery. Your husband was being sweet and putting in the emotional effort for your relationship and you hurt him. It probably sounded like he can't do anything right to make you happy. You need to focus on the good in your life. Would you rather your husband not call and say sweet things to you? Would you rather he be a total asshole because he's feeling all the same stressors as you? You literally have something so many want and you just hurt him. He needs to feel chosen and important during these harder parts of marriage too. You owe him an apology and a deeper conversation showing he's appreciated. Maybe where you can't match his positive statement, find another positive statement to say instead. So maybe instead of saying you love your life right now, say you look forward to your future? Or maybe something like, I'm glad you're the one I'm in this life with, or something like that, assuming that's not a lie. I know you're tired and stressed and it's hard to think on your feet with a positivity pop quiz on the phone, but I think you can find a middle ground on saying something nice rather than taking it as a challenge to fact-check his sweet nothings. A better approach would have been to echo his sentiments, then have a heart-to-heart later. Like, I appreciated your call earlier and effort to make me feel better about us, but our reality right now is incredibly difficult for me, and then go through your list of valid issues. That way you're still honestly acknowledging your concerns, but doing so without torpedoing his attempt at a sweet moment. Nothing wrong with putting aside the things that make you stressed, miserable to pay tribute to the things that bring you joy. I think there were much kinder ways to explain your feelings. Something like, things have been really tough recently but I'm really glad to have you by my side navigating life together. Hopefully you can explain to your husband that you were just stressed and are happy to be life partners. Married boss 30F cheating with married child's father 36M at school. Hi, so I work in a school system in an elementary school. My direct boss is a married woman with 3 kids. For several months now she has been cheating with a married husband who has a kindergarten kid we watch every day. The husband's wife works in the school system but not at the same school I'm at. Whenever he comes to pick his child up, he stays for about 45 minutes and my boss asks me to cover the front desk while she takes him to the cafeteria. She calls him on her personal phone and tells him where to park and come into the school to do God knows what. She bought a backdrop for photos to cover the view of her desk from the cameras and she closes all of the curtains when he comes. It's gotten to the point where he will come even if the child is not present at school that day. During fall break we went on a field trip and my boss bought the child a picture frame and then took a picture of her and the child and sent it home. My coworkers and I are extremely uncomfortable. I have brought it up with the principal and he seemed concerned but no actions were taken. I've got a stack of notes, not hidden might I add. Literally in the roll clipboard every staff member has access to. My boss has written saying, "I love, cheating husband. Come make out with me. You are the best daddy and my husband, you're the love of my life." What do? I am so sick of it. And the mom is nothing but nice to us. Do I take pictures and email them to the mom and just put the notes back? I want to stay out of it, but I am so goddamn uncomfortable. I'm currently applying to new jobs because it has become insufferable. Thoughts? You could claim a hostile work environment and file a complaint. It would expose the affair and you would be well within your rights as an employee. After all, you are being put in a very uncomfortable situation. Go above the principal to the school trustee. She absolutely should not be having sex in the school during school hours. What if a child caught them? If you were the partner, would you want to know? If you were a parent of a child at the school, would you want to know? If you were overseeing the school district, would you want to know? Personally, I would want to know in all three circumstances. So I would tell both partners. Then I would bring it up in a city council meeting, PTHE asshole, and or whatever governing body oversees the school. Contact the school board. Fake email to both spouses and school board. Go to your HR department. Hostile work environment. Maybe also engage your union. Title: Mike, 27F, boyfriend, 29M, broke up with me because I don't want kids. How do I move forward? Please forgive my grammar. English is not my first language. My 27F and my boyfriend 29M has been together for 3 years. We ended our relationship amicably. While I understand his reasons, it still hurts. From the start of our relationship I have always been upfront about not wanting to have kids. I have never felt that urge of being a mother. My boyfriend was always unsure. He said he could see himself happy either way, so he didn't dwell on it. Unfortunately last year he lost his only sibling in a car accident, and few months after that he started being skeptical about the issue of having kids. Last month he told me that he loves me so much and he cherished our time together. But he has been doing a lot of thinking and realized he wants to have a family and children someday. As much it's hurt him so much he said it wouldn't be fair to either of us to continue the relationship. I've been feeling heartbroken since then. I still love him so much and I miss him. We didn't break up because of lack of love, but because our life goals don't align. I won't change my mind about kids though. Right now is hard to imagine myself with someone else other than him. How do I move forward from something that ended on good terms but still hurts so much? Trauma in life will often change your outlook on life. He changed his mind. The good news is he's a great guy for being upfront and telling you. Not wasting your time. All you can do is respect his new goal and let him go. There will be pain for some time for both of you, but happiness is what you both want in the end. Eventually you will both be happy. Good luck. As a fellow child-free person, I know how much this sucks. You will eventually get over it and you'll be happy that you didn't change your mind. In the future, and if possible, only date people that are 100% sure. I wish I could tell you that this won't happen again, but it will. I'm very straightforward about the fact that I'm child-free. Men never believe me. I've had to end 3 really nice relationships because they wanted children. There isn't a man on earth that could change my mind. The most frustrating part is all of the wasted time, emotions, and love. The first 2 weeks are the hardest and then it starts to get better bit by bit from there. You should know that your decision to remain childless isn't wrong, it's just different. Good luck. He made the right call. Hard as it is, the issue of wanting children is way too big of a thing to ignore. Just know there's a man out there who you can love just as much, whose goals do align with yours. You just have to put this one behind you. Your ex has broken up with you because he strongly believes that he will meet a woman he wants to marry and start a family with. He has already moved on. There is nothing you can do. You hurt and don't want to let go. Understandable. But the cruel truth is you have no choice. But you can choose how to handle it and how kind you are to yourself. Good luck and a big hug. Take it one day at a time. Focus on yourself and do things to distract you from the pain. Pick up new hobbies, try new restaurants, cuisines, travel solo or with friends, family. You'll be alright. One day at a time. Accept the fact he wants kids. He has that right. You did nothing wrong. Neither did he. If you are 100% sure you do not want kids, and he does, what is he supposed to do? Wait to see if you change your mind? It is better he goes now when he can still find someone to have kids with. It may happen, or not, but at least he is not wasting his time on you. You also have a chance to find someone whose choices are identical with yours. I hope you do meet someone suitable. You are incompatible. This way neither has to compromise on a huge fundamental thing in life.